Drew Doughty and the LA Kings have reportedly agreed to an 8-year contract extension. In today's video, we're going to discuss the terms of the contract and how that affects the team moving forward. And that's coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We'll review and discuss all 31 NHL teams. So if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So it looks as though Drew Doughty won't be leaving the LA Kings anytime soon. He and the Kings have reportedly agreed to an 8-year contract extension, reportedly worth around $11 million per year. So 8 years, or $88 million total value. Obviously, this is big news for the LA Kings as they're able to lock up their star defenseman for a long time to come. He's obviously the franchise player and means a lot to this organization. So locking him up long term was noted as a top priority for this offseason, and looks as though they were able to get the job done. Now, as been reported here for some time, it looks as though Drew Doughty was fully expected to be able to get this worked out. The Kings appeared to be able to do whatever it took to kind of get him locked up here long term. So obviously this contract is going to set the tone for other contract extensions or potential free agents here. Obviously he's going to become one of the highest paid players in the league. I'm sure this is certainly going to have an impact on the contract extension regardless of who it's with. For Senators captain Erik Karlsson, obviously they're very comparable defensemen. Whenever we see new contracts signed and agreed to like this usually certainly sets the tone for others to follow. So I certainly think that'll have a big impact here on other free agents or other guys looking for extensions here moving forward that can use this as a comparable contract. My only concern long term here, not so much as with Doughty, but with the Kings organization, is they have a lot of money now committed for a long number of years to a lot of players that are getting up there in years. So for example, as you probably know, they have guys like Anze Kopitar, Dustin Brown, Dion Phaneuf, Jeff Carter, Jonathan Quick. They just signed Ilya Kovalchuk, and he's getting up there as well. And now you get Drew Doughty's contract. They have a lot of guys north of the age of 30 locked up for a long time here and have a lot of money tied up. Now the Drew Doughty contract is the least of my worries out amongst all of these. Obviously Drew Doughty is still young enough that this contract certainly should see its value and should be worth it here long term. But a lot of the other guys, not that they're not performing well now, but you could certainly make an argument here that as the years go by, before a lot of these deals are going to end up being finished, that they're not going to look so good here. We saw guys like Dustin Brown and Anze Kopitar bounce back this past season and kind of make their contracts a little bit more desirable than they were before. Obviously, especially with Brown's case, there was certainly, looked as though that contract was very toxic and terrible for a while, but he certainly picked up his game. After the coaching change, things bounced back here. Now it doesn't look so bad, but as long as they can keep up their play, it won't be bad. When you have this many players north of 30, all heading into the years when they play normally declines, it certainly could be dangerous for the LA longer term. They're certainly one of the older teams here in the league now. And one thing that I found is that when they hit the playoffs against the Vegas Golden Knights, they just didn't have the speed and the scoring to keep up, which is why they lost in 4 straight games. With all these contracts in place, one of the things I don't find the Kings have addressed so far is adding the speed. Obviously, guys like Kovalchuk have an ability to score, but he's certainly not the quickest guy in the world at this point in his career. So they really need to add speed, in my opinion. So we'll see how things go here, what else they can do. But having all these contracts worth so much to these older players for such a long time will certainly impact what else they can do with their club. As much as I like this Drew Doughty contract and extension here, I do have concerns about the team longer term with their ability to be able to add what they really need, which is speed and scoring, based on all the other contracts that we discussed and how much money is committed to these guys moving forward. So let me know down in the comments, what do you think of this contract with Drew Doughty? Did they make the right move here by locking him up for the 8-year deal? Did they overpay? What do you think of the value here? Personally, I think it's a great contract for both sides and should work out well long term. Out of all the long-term contracts they're holding, this one would be the least of my worries. So if you're new to the channel here, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams. There's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. There's going to be plenty of other free agent news as well as some trades coming up here, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. We'll catch you next time.